Welcome to the Elements of Spirit readings for the element of air for the week of March 6th, 2017. Air readings have to do with Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. Interesting. Okay. This one seems a little complicated, so we'll just start with it as we see it. So I see a bowl. I see this lip around the bowl. And the bowl is abrasive. And I see this almost like lubricant substance that looks like butter or, I don't know, maybe ghee or coconut oil or something. It has that kind of viscosity, and it's being rubbed around the bowl. Prepare the vessel for the ideal experience of combination. Interesting. Okay, so it's this interesting image where it's like a bowl. And there's like a lip around the bowl, and the bowl is abrasive. It looks almost like clay or like rough-hewn clay of some sort. And this is again coming through the air. And the idea here is that you're rubbing some kind of chapsticky looking stuff, some kind of lubricant of some sort around the mouth of the bowl to make the experience of drinking more pleasurable, but the message is prepare the vessel for the ideal experience of combination. Combination or exchange would be really good too. So what this says is it says there's water element in this, very much so. There's water element saying take this in, drink from this cup, drink in these emotions or drink in this experience. But before you drink up, prepare the vessel, meaning the bowl, and prepare the vessel, meaning yourself. Ooh, what would that look like? It's not just, what I hear is it's not just be willing to look at yourself, air element creatures. It means be willing to look at uncomfortable spots. Be willing to look at uncomfortable spots so you can break through. So there's something here which is like, if there is something in you which restrains yourself or which pushes too hard, that doesn't allow for an easy, free exchange flow, P.S. of the events that are happening to you. If there's a part of you that's pinched against what's happening to you, I'm jumping back to the ether reading here. I change my narrative through empowered choices. So there's something in this I change my narrative through empowered choices that is about breaking a victim mentality and breaking this feeling of like, all these things happen to me, this is my narrative. In your case, it's saying that you have a right to make circumstances enjoyable before you take them on, but you also must pay attention to preparing yourself by recognizing that in order for you to grow, you have to grow beyond your comfort zone. You may have to face the elements within yourself that contribute to your victim narrative. You may have to face the restraints and restrictions within yourself that contribute to all of your worries and to these events, which it's not the event's fault. The event's faults are coming through the ether, coming at you. And what the ether reading was about is like, as these events come through, making powerful choices based on where you're at will relieve worry, will relieve the feelings of supportlessness or feelings of being unsupported from your lower back. The more you make choices about where you're going to. And what this says is it just says, look, like, And you have a right to go where you want to go and make the choices that you want to make and be who you want to be and do what you want to do. You're allowed to prepare. You don't have to drink bitter poison from a broken cup. You can drink sweet nectar from a beautiful vessel that even if it is bumpy, you smooth it out. And then what my guides are saying to me is, and remind them that your vessel and what's inside of it are 150 million% under your, not under your control, but are definitely 150 million% influenced by your perspective of how you see them. You may be handed a bumpy cup of bitter poison, but if you work on these resistances or restrictions which affirm the victim narrative, if you work on clearing them, or at least on facing them, then your perspective shifts and you can look at what previously seemed like a bowl of bitter poison with a bumpy lip and see it as a perfectly glazed vessel full of sweet, sweet, nourishing nectar or water. And so there's a little bit of a cool, almost like oscillation between this is either bumpy and full of poison or smooth and sweet, depending on how you look at it. But what's the affirmation? I enjoy. Interesting. It's so funny. And again, you guys have seen me do this now. And as I get into the readings, I resist the read as it comes through. I'm like, no, that's not it. But then I look back on it. Okay, I am allowed to enjoy my experience. I am allowed to enjoy my experience. I am allowed to enjoy my experience. This is an incentive which says if you don't like what you're about to ingest, make it better, work it, fix it, apply yourself, or change your perspective, see it differently. Or I am allowed to enjoy my experience, which means that whatever resistances inside of me that I can acknowledge, I can change. And in the changing of it, these events which come to me, which are defining my victim narrative, will be more easily ingested, processed, digested, excreted, and the energy and nutrition and light and power inside of these elements and ingredients can be unleashed beautifully, perfectly. I'm allowed to enjoy my experience. I'm allowed to enjoy my experience. I am allowed to enjoy my experience. I hope you enjoy this experience. All my love.